Okay, 12 or 13 bags for the front apron that opens the doors. It's pretty on the front, but on the back side you can see there was like a leak. I don't know. Anyway, the container is level, and I have poured the back pyramid right here, this corner, and then I will pour. I've got these cribs set up, the cribs, stacks of random woods holding the weight. The container actually floats above this concrete. Then I have this giant jack sitting here, and then I moved the forms for the first corner. Well, that corner over there. I moved these forms here and cut them in a way, pounded in some serious rebar, 3/4 inch. Then I will fill this with concrete that's waiting here. I gotta do this like at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's so hot, the concrete dries so fast, it cracks. So, concrete mixer is ready. Electrical is ready. Forms are ready. Then I'm gonna put a porch and a deck. And this will be the wood shop with lounge. And of course it'll have its own solar panels and its own grid connection and its own mini split. Yeah, okay. Progress. All right, here we are. We start with the single-use 20-foot shipping container. They're real clean and straight and nice. Single-use containers are built fairly good. I mean, they're not built as good as ones that are designed to be used hundreds of times, but they're good enough for this. They're very strong. Then you go and put a ribbon of concrete in the front. I use the front side as the lowest side so that I have the ribbon or sidewalk or whatever. This is dug out under the corners. I have the container jacked up with wood, and then I pour this ribbon first. That sets my front level. It's a good step to get in the container. Also keeps the water from going in because of the lip and all that stuff. Then we'll go around the south side here, and the low side of the container gets jacked up with cribbing, which is pieces of wood. I put them about there. I form up, I do that cribbing until the container is level. And then I form up a box, in this case, a sort of a pyramid, that level, that the container sets on that level with the front. Likewise, I'll pour the other corner, get over here, so it's level and similar. I use the same forms on both sides. I poured that one, and then I peeled the forms and I poured that one. Then we build a 12-panel array at the top of the container. That direction is south, so I'll take you up there on this ladder. You can see how this goes together. So it's 12 panels, 3 panels tall and 4 panels wide, 12. I developed this system, I call it the weld-free attachment method. So you can see right there, there's one in the front, there's 4 corners, and I'll go to this one, which is closer to see. I buy these giant U-bolts out of New Jersey, and I cut this scrap steel as a saddle, and I'm bolting on Schedule 40 steel pipe. Schedule 80 is probably better, but sometimes I can't get that. But anyway, bolt it on, so it's bolted together. Then I use Uni-Rack rails, not Uni-Rack, that's an old one. Iron Ridge. I use Iron Ridge racking system, this standard ULA ultra large array, I guess is what they call that. Normally you'd put this on the ground, but I'm just bolting the array to a 2-inch pipe like it's designed to do. So I also used the Iron Ridge racking as my rafters in the covered section, which we'll look at next. Of course, I still need to wire up the panels, take the wires over to a home run. There's a combiner box there. Just putting this container in the shade of the array blocks down a lot of the heat that the container gets during the sun. And additionally, when I get down here, let me watch what I'm doing down the ladder here. There we go. On the ground again. Yeah. Secondarily, in the wintertime, the sun will be shining more on the side of the container, heating up the inside. It's a good thing. I will insulate this container anyway. Now, the next phase of this project, I put these XR1000 rails. They're spanning a fair distance, maybe more than they're supposed to for solar arrays, but this does work pretty good. I did 16 on center to get a bit more strength out of them. And then I used 1x6 purlins, and I did a special notch so that the purlin doesn't break, or there's no gap in the purlin at the top of the rail. I used deck screws to attach the purlins to the aluminum. Not deck screws, well, trailer deck screws. They're called trailer deck screws. And then also, I built a wall using the same Iron Ridge parts. This piece right here is an Iron Ridge part. Normally you'd have a solar array, you'd have your post, you'd have this bracket, and then you have a thing, and you have your solar panels. As you can see, I don't have solar panels here. This is the north side. It is just covering the tractor. So I made a barn, basically, carport barn, and it will have its own power. This system will be wired up and feed into the grid, which is there. And yeah, I'm gonna keep working on making it into like a little shop, and it'll be self-powered and also grid powering, power the grid to offset the house, which is up there somewhere. All right, it's a good, cool, cloudy day, but we did get all the panels wired up, and we come down to a collection of panels, 3 panels in a series and 4 panels wide into a combiner. And then there's an electrical, it's AC power output, which will be future outlets and switches and whatever. But the DC comes in here, goes into the container, goes through that location. This is a Milwaukee wall. You can see I did some finish out on the inside. Haven't finished. And then on the inside I have 2 Schneider inverters, some charge controllers. This might be a hybrid system in the end of some Schneider and some Outback parts. As a solar installer, I wind up getting old parts. I try to use them. Maybe a fallacy, but here we are. And then I have a lithium battery Pytes brand here. It's 30 kilowatt hours here. And there's another 40 kilowatt hours of E-Flex batteries to come in here. So just trying to collect all the items together. This is a power system. This will be feeding most of the house and of course this barn area. And it is expandable, as you can see. And then of course on this other side is storage, seasonal storage items, whatever you might need. That's why you have shipping containers, especially ones that are unfinished at this point. All right, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Build yourself a container. They're handy.